And I connect very much to the meditative state you're talking about. I call it getting the, we'll put up the box with the question mark. The Mario
Big
star.
fart come out? No, sorry. You got to hit another one. That was just a fart. There you go. There's your Mario thing. That's a star. Now you're invincible. Copyright infringement. If you can think of someone else. Okay. There's going to be copyright infringement. If there's another song, just change one note.
Scoot doo, blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah!
So you're going to be on the couch.
Okay.
And I have a blanket. Is that you or me?
It's you. I'm on Do Not Disturb. It would never be that rude.
I'm not going to answer this.
Holy shit, a bottle of water?
Yeah, the pod's been doing well recently, so I'm starting to do that kind of stuff.
Very cool. Before it used to just be cups?
I would ask them to bring their own water.
Do you play a song on your guitar to start?
No.
Can you?
Yeah.
Great. Are you washing again?
No, I was just giving a quick camera check. Look. Like looking at...
Oh, at yourself.
My teeth, how's my hair.
What do you see when you look in the mirror? How do you feel? Are you a person that looks in the mirror and is like, fucking crushed it? Or do you look in the mirror and you're like, ugh, not again?
I try not to look in a mirror.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm always disappointed, but I'm usually not excited.
Right.
I'll look in the mirror. If I see something that I like, I'll look away and I'll try not to look again for as long as I can. Because
at that thing or just at yourself, period?
At me. Because I assume that I will always look the way I last saw myself.
Yeah, that's interesting. I find that I don't look at the mirror much at all. Unless I'm about to go out and do something where maybe someone, like we're recording something or a podcast. Like before I left, I looked in the mirror for this because like, okay, there's gonna be cameras.
Right.
Let me make sure that
I
don't look like an idiot. But if I'm just living life, I never look at it. And I feel like when I do look, I probably more times than not am disappointed, being like, ugh, and then keep going.
When you look to see if I don't look like an idiot, what is it that would make you look like an idiot?
Oh, like the thing that I would have to fix? Maybe clothes not making sense, or.
But you're already here.
What do you mean?
If you're looking when you washed your hands,
I did not look in the mirror when I washed my hands. I just trusted.
You just look down. The mirror's right there.
Yeah. Do you look at your face when you wash your hands?
If there's a mirror in front of me.
You know what I was thinking? Because you asked specifically to wash your hands, I made sure that I washed my hands as well as I could. And I as many times as I could with the water. Do you use very hot water or no? I
prefer warm water, but I've gotten better.
So I didn't even look at the mirror. But before I left, I looked in the mirror.
I left the tray so you could you could put the tray on the couch.
Is that okay? Do you need the tray?
No.
Great.
Put all your stuff on there. That tray is for the guest.
I don't want to. I just want to put my thing there. I feel like it's for beverages and food.
But you're a good-looking boy.
I wouldn't say great-looking. I don't think in high school anybody would be like, "Oh my God, that guy."
Right.
Or college. I don't think I would.
Now that I think about it, I'm not even sure.
My whole life, I don't think anybody's like, "Oh, baby." I would never say that. And I could give you facts on it in that when I would audition for things, my description was never like hot guy, good looking guy, whatever. Never.
Right.
And if anything, I remember I got feedback once that they went with like, oh no, they went with like a super attractive dude for this one. Like I remember getting feedback and I was like, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
But I think you and I are in a similar place to where.
How tall are you?
6'3".
6'3".
Today, actually.
Today you turned 6'3"?
I'm 6'3" today.
Oh my God, congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I feel like I'll speak for both of us. I'll speak for me.
You can speak for you. But you're trying to, and you're hoping that I'll agree.
You'll agree.
Okay, I'll tell you what happens at the end of it. And I'll always be truthful.
Okay. We're the Goofy Boys. We're silly.
A lot of people calling us the Goofy Boys. You're Max. I'm straight up Goofy. We are just, how do you describe Goofy Boys? People that like to have fun, but like to goof around.
Right. People that connect through silly. So it's part of their language.
Probably is definitely for me. I'm not going to speak for you, but maybe you'll agree. I think as kids, the way that I made friends at the beginning was to try to make people laugh.
Yes.
That's how people would connect. And then I probably got positive affirmation,
You could say it.
Positive affirmation. No, what's the word?
Positive affirmation.
Yeah, I feel like these are different words of affirmation.
Ben, funny stuff.
What do you mean?
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Easy and affordable online therapy, and get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/TYSO. That's BETTERHELP.com/TYSO for 10% off. Validation.
Thank you. I got like when I did that and it worked. Like, oh, okay, this is how I can make friends. Trying to be funny and stuff like that. That's like definitely. I was like class clown in high school and all that.
Same.
Stuff. Yeah. Did you get like the thingy, the class clown?
The superlative.
Yes.
Yeah. And now look at us.
Couple of fucking goofs.
Yeah.
Couple of fucking goofs. Here we are. This is exciting for me because I've only spoken to you quickly at other like when it's very rarely ever been you and I don't think ever in a room together talking. I'm sure there's more, but I could picture 3 times that I've seen you. Kristen's house.
Yes. I saw you.
Jackie was there.
I saw you. Shout out to Jackie Tone.
Jackie Tone.
I
saw you on. Oh, nice. You're going to put a little thing right there?
Whenever we mention somebody that's been on the pod, we throw up the thumbnail.
Oh, wow. And then you can click on them.
And if we mention somebody that isn't on the pod, who do somebody you like?
That has not been on the pod? Christopher Walken.
By the way, shout out to Christopher Walken. We'll put his Instagram handle up here.
Pop a little. You'll put Christopher Walken's TikTok in there, you said?
Instagram.
Okay. I'm certain he has both. You know Christopher Walken.
I know he has a TikTok.
His TikTok is
I want to cut to a clip, one of his funniest things.
God, does he really have a TikTok? Yeah. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Christopher Walken. A lot of people think I have a funny accent, but it's just for the films. Anyway, talk to you soon. I'm going to make myself a coffee. That's what I'm famous for.
Yeah, he's TikTok. I don't know if you obviously you have never seen his TikTok, but
I've never seen it before. I didn't even think it existed.
Yeah, his voice isn't. My name's Christopher Walken.
That's Christopher Walken.
No, but it's a character.
No.
Or on TikTok he's playing a character, but on TikTok he talks just like.
There's 2 things I know about Christopher Walken: that accent and the man loves tea. Those are the 2 things I know about Christopher Walken. If you're telling me in the real life those 2 things aren't real, I will be so bummed.
Could you cut to Christopher Walken hating tea, please?
I did already. He said he loved coffee.
I'm going to make myself
in
a
that
coffee.
Last one right there, he makes coffee. That's his whole thing.
Oh, I missed it. You can keep that in. Show my mistake.
No, you did great. Don't put that in. I want you to be flawless.
No, man. You know what's great about this podcast is showing people that flawless is accepting who you are and not making mistakes.
Oh, I just wrote in something that I'm writing, I talked about how there's no such thing as a perfect person. Also, Gary Shandling, who I'm assuming you love.
Is a perfect person.
Both of us like comedy. We must love Larry Sanders.
I rewatch it every year.
It's genius. I was very lucky to be close with him. And one of the things that he said was that he loves the imperfect beats. Like he did Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. And before it got released, he's like, he told me, he's like, I wish they would just keep everything in. The weird long pauses, us just waiting in the car for a bit. He's like, that's what he, like, look at his show. He's so good at finding those moments between moments. But I always thought that was so interesting. He's like, just keep the whole thing in. Keep it like 2 hours and just like see what happens.
I have a hypothesis that I would like to see if you connect with.
Great.
And also then we'll go back to, there was something with Goofy Boys, if we remember.
We are the Goofy Boys. What else is there to say? We're the fucking Goofy Boys.
Which is, I feel like people who shine in, when I say improvising situations, it could be like what you do, literally improv shows, or just improvising on set or whatever it might be.
This podcast, you have to improvise?
Is feeling safe in any situation. Like just being present and trusting, I got it. It's fine.
Interesting.
And if you appreciate that, those moments, then you get to shine in them. A lot of comedian stand-ups try and recreate it by writing jokes where they make a mistake. Not make a mistake. Like... Is
that true?
Yeah, all the time.
As a stand-up, do people... Wait, so I don't know much about the stand-up world outside of appreciating it from afar, but those laughs and stuff, like... Are those planned? I can't imagine.
Yes.
Like when you're writing, you're like, and then I'm gonna make this mistake so I can then da-da-da. Unless it's part of your joke.
Well,
Sarah will make it part. Silverman will make it like part of the bit. Has she been on the podcast?
Just putting her Instagram.
Put on TikTok. Put on Christopher Walken's TikTok.
That's what I'm famous for.
You know what? I want to answer that by going back to the Goofy Boys.
Great.
When I was a kid, I didn't know how people felt about me.
Okay.
I thought everyone was my friend, but no one wanted me to come over. I wasn't allowed in people's houses. Like I didn't feel unincluded.
Did you not have a lot of friends?
No.
What do you think it was?
I was a little annoying and eccentric, and I was too touchy with people, and I bothered people. And kids aren't going to say, "Hey, Rick, it bothers me when you do this." They just don't invite you. And I didn't realize until like a lot later on. I always thought I had so many friends, and people liked me. I just never did anything.
Wow.
And I later realized. I don't mean this as a victim story by any means.
No, I'm not saying you're a victim. Oh, you wanted to be a victim story.
No, I thought I had to sneeze.
All right, let's put up his Instagram or some shit. Is that what we do when someone feels bad in this?
No.
Let's cut to a clip. Okay, now you could do a video of you being victimized.
What I was just joking around. I always knew though when I made somebody laugh that they liked me in that moment, for that moment.
Well, that's what I think shows are. I think we bring people joy for an hour, or that's what how long my shows are now. It's like, I love the idea. And also, what's a great thing that you said is something that Jim Carrey once said. I think it was in that, you see the doc that he did with, it was Andy and Jim. It was the Andy Kaufman doc. I think it was in that where he talked about the biggest thing he was talking about stand-up, but I take it as a performer. The biggest thing in stand-up is to make sure the audience feels comfortable. That's the biggest thing. And it's basically what you're saying. When you come on stage, you're making the audience feel comfortable. Don't worry about it. Let's have some fun. This is going to be fine. I've done this 1,000 times. And he goes, when the audience is comfortable, then you can like get away with murder or whatever. You know what I mean? But I also...
Was it comfortable? I remember him saying something like that.
Something like that. Maybe
Because I don't agree with comfortable.
I like comfortable. For me, I think, this is a good example. Let's say somebody shouted something shitty during a show once. And then there was and then people are like upset, and then they had to take them out, and the whole crowd afterwards was so tense that's like we had to like loosen them up again and make sure hey, you know what, that sucked, but now we're back here, blah blah blah. And that was an example of like they were comfortable, whatever, and then they're so aware that this person's going bananas, and they get kicked out because they're drunk or whatever, and now they're all like, and of course as performers we'll make the most of that situation to make you laugh, but you feel the audience slowly come back to you, and then you're on the ride again.
Well, that's when they're uncomfortable, and it's not in the performer's control.
That's
but there's
correct.
sometimes you want, I believe, I like to make people feel a certain way intentionally so you can turn.
Of course. And for improv, I would be dramatic. I would do no comedy and be dramatic in a scene, because then I know the hit of the comedy is going to crush even more.
I hate to do what I'm about to do.
You're going to take a shit?
Could you give me 1 sec?
Yeah, go. You only need 1 sec? Okay. Should we pop on the Instagram of that shit? Doesn't that shit have its own Instagram page?
It does. We'll put it up.
Great.
But I can't be, sometimes if something distracts me, I have to acknowledge it, or I can't be present. And I think that's not focused, and I want to do it real quick.
I'll talk while you do it. I'll riff for you. Go.
Okay. So where am I normally? I'm here. We're here. My
Well,
nose
sometimes you lean in.
Yeah, but primarily that's my head.
You're doing great.
Thanks.
But you're plugged in. All right, good. How can you tell that far away?
I moved my chair back during it. While you were talking, I was just like, huh? And then I couldn't pay attention enough. Okay, now say it.
What?
I don't know. So Jim Carrey, I heard he's gay.
No, is he?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Is this a part of your thing where you try to just throw out accusations at people?
No. No. But maybe.
I don't think so.
But if he were, I think that would be fine.
Of course it would be fine. It'd be
I wouldn't
amazing.
care.
I hope not. I hope you wouldn't care no matter what anybody's sexual preferences at all.
Yeah, as long as...
I can't imagine you'd be that person.
No. But you know what's crazy?
And this is Pride Month, Rick. We'd be celebrating.
But I don't know if this comes out in Pride Month.
Okay.
This might come out in anti-gay July.
How backlogged are these podcasts?
Right now, I have 4 in the can.
Who's your favorite out of the 4? Are you allowed to say it? Or the other 3 would feel bad?
I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I'll tell you after.
Say it now and then edit it out. Or bleep out your name. Bleep out the name.
Ashton Kutcher.
How was that?
I haven't filmed it yet.
At all?
He hasn't decided. He hasn't agreed to do it.
Okay, so your favorite one is one that you have not recorded yet.
My favorite one is probably the one that comes out. I don't want to do it. I'm uncomfortable doing it.
Tell me afterwards.
Yeah, and they're all fine.
They're all your babies.
They're all fine.
They're all your babies.
Yeah. So
I watched Stranger Things, and that Kate Bush song is in my head over and over.
I heard it made the top 10 charts.
I'm sure it did. It has a huge plot line in the film. In the show.
But careful. I watched
Netflix?
it. I'm very, very anti and sensitive to spoilers. People think they're not even spoiling when they say something.
Oh no, I'm very sensitive to that as well.
Someone will say, I won't say anything, but the very end is very sad. And it's like, well then I know something sad's happening.
I hate that stuff all the time. I also don't like reading reviews when I go see a movie because I don't want to know what anybody else thinks before I see it. Then afterwards, if I'm like, oh my God, I thought that was amazing, then I'll read other people's.
If only society felt the same way about speaking of other people.
Oh, that's interesting.
I have an anecdote. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah. Can you start it with I have an anecdote? Or start it with this is my anecdote?
This is my anecdote. I'm going to see Crimson Tide in the theaters.
I don't know Crimson Tide.
Denzel Washington, Gene Hackman.
Oh my God.
Submarine.
Wait, what are you talking about? The old? You're talking about the old Crimson Tide? So you're seeing a film that has already come out, but you're seeing it in the theaters?
This is when it came out in the theaters.
Okay. Your anecdote, you got to give me years. You got to tell me wherever in the present or the past.
When did that come out? I'm usually good at that.
I'm going to say
5?
90s. Are you great with basketball numbers too? Derek Harper on the Knicks. What number?
No. I'm not great. I only know the Cavs. I only watch Cavs games.
Are you a Cleveland guy?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Boy, are my arms tired.
Excuse me?
When did Crimson Tide come out? Also, right before he says excuse me, animate a little fart under him.
I don't know why I'm farting.
Because you said excuse me. 95.
95.
I am pretty good, oddly, at when movies came out.
Ooh.
But
You
let me
know-
go.
Go.
Okay. I see Crimson Tide in the theaters. I'm doing my thing.
95. That means you're probably what, 35 now?
Thank you. 37.
37.
Today.
Pretty close, by the way. Today. 6'3", 37.
Yeah.
It's not your birthday today, is it?
No, today I'm 37.
Okay, great.
You're 37.
No, I'm 40.
Today?
No. Well, today I am 40. That's true, I guess.
Cool.
I'm trying to think of how old you would be. So then, Crimson Tide came out in 95.
Yeah.
So you were 11 years old when you saw it?
Either 10 or turning 11. You know,
That's
it depends.
young for Crimson Tide.
That's what's crazy about what I'm about to tell you.
Great, I can't wait. Now we're ready for this fucking story, Rick.
So here's my anecdote.
Yeah.
1995.
Big fart. Keep going.
Excuse me. I'm almost 11. And you know when you're almost 11, you're like, like suck my dick. Like you're not that guy yet. You're more like, you're taking your turtles and making them go like this, and you wish they could do a full split so you could take them by the head to do 360
we live
kicks.
different lives.
You didn't play with action figures?
Action figures, I did it crazy. You said a turtle. You didn't
Teenage
say
Mutant Ninja Turtle.
You didn't say Teenage Mutant
I made a
Turtles.
mistake.
You said you took your turtle.
Or as Homer would say, steak.
Nice. Do you know that I play Leonardo in the team? Oh, you do.
do.
Are you a big fan of
Yeah.
Turtles? Oh,
Yeah.
So you knew all along.
Yeah, it was.
Have you watched our version of Turtles?
I don't remember if I've seen your version. I've seen so many versions, I don't know which is which.
It just came out on Netflix, the first season.
Then no, I haven't.
But it's been out on Nickelodeon for 3 or 4 years.
Then yes, I have.
No, I'm very excited.
That's very cool.
It has a very Ren and Stimpy vibe if you've seen the animation style.
So they say. I don't know how this business works enough, but it was down to me and somebody else for Raph.
In that one?
Yeah.
I wonder. It was an African-American gentleman who got it.
Which is fine. I don't mind.
I hope not.
No.
God, you're really making big swings.
Yeah.
Omar Benson Miller, who's like amazing. And I did a TV show with House of Lies. He was on for a couple episodes.
That's how you and I met, kind of, indirectly. House of Lies.
Through Jackie.
Yeah.
Through Kristen, through Jackie.
You worked through Kristen.
Yeah.
Jackie.
Yep.
First base.
Right.
So I'm seeing Crimson Tide.
Yeah.
And
1995. You're 10 to 11. You're
Right.
pulling your dick out like a turtle.
no,
or
I'm
something.
not. No, yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. And
2 farts. If you don't mind, 2 farts.
I don't know what this movie's about. I've never seen a movie, and even at 10, I've
This your
seen
first
a lot
movie?
of movies. No, this is the first movie that I went to. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
We're like, let's go see this movie. I don't know what it is. I've never forgotten this feeling of having no idea what the tone. I'm only 10, maybe 11. I don't know what the tone is. I don't know who's going to be in it. I don't know
Sure.
any of the story. And from that moment, I thought, not just movies, things. I never want anybody to tell me what my opinion is.
What your opinion is.
What my opinion is. I don't want anyone to lead me. Trailers are fun. I love watching them. There's a give and take. When you watch them, you lose, but it's fun to get
agree.
excited.
I agree.
But I feel this way with everything. When somebody says, I don't like this guy, I always think, we'll see.
I agree. But this city especially, I feel like you have to take your time you could hear things and you could clock them, but I think you have to meet the person before you ever judge. I've heard terrible things about someone, they met the person and they happen to be wonderful.
It's easy to speak badly about people.
I think it's also the nature of what's happening in the world right now. There's so much attention towards negativity. When people are negative, you see online, they get so many likes and retweets and stuff like that.
How is that negativity?
What do you mean? Oh, if someone says something negative, you'll see that gets a lot of attention. So I think that some people see that, negativity is the way to get attention if I speak shit or something else. Wait, I was going to say something that I had a quote, because we're knocking out quotes like crazy today. What do you think you were just saying?
We're Crimson Tide. I don't want anyone to make my opinion for me. I try to take that into other things outside of movies.
This is great. Okay, so one of the best, J.J. Abrams has this great line. You're going to go to his Instagram. Has this great line where he says, the best part of the movie is right before it starts. The whole theater gets totally dark. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Nobody knows what the first image is. It's going to flash on the screen. It's the most exciting part because your imagination is just going crazy. What's about to happen? And I love that. He has this great thing. If you find this interesting, he likes magic tricks, which I like too.
Same.
But he bought this box, or his grandpa bought him this box of magic tricks, and it's called a mystery box. And it's a big question mark. It's a big question mark, and inside you don't know which magic
like
tricks.
in Mario when you're getting a mushroom.
That's exactly
or something.
correct, but very different because outside of coins or flowers or a big mushroom, it's a series of magic tricks. So the idea to him was, it's so exciting not to know. It's the exciting part is not knowing what's inside there. So he's just always kept it and never opened it up. But I always love that idea in filmmaking, the mystery box or the the total darkness. You have no idea what's about to happen. I love those being very exciting moments.
I could connect something we were talking about that's pretty analogous to that,
I'd
which
love to
is
see you try.
when you're a performer and making the audience, allowing the audience to feel a sense of uncomfort before the thing that makes them settle down and laugh and like. It's this thing of, now before the movie starts, they're not necessarily uncomfortable, but there is like
it's almost a lean in type thing. It's like, ooh, what's going to happen? That type of thing.
So you're a performer that is, not only do you not do stand-up, you do improv.
I do long form improv.
But the way...
Have you ever seen a long form improv show?
Yeah, I've seen you numerous times.
Really?
Yeah, I watched all of your specials.
Oh, that's very kind with Thomas.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to one of the live shows?
I saw Thomas live twice. I've seen you live twice.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You saw Ben Schwartz and Friends or Shitty Jobs?
It was at UCB. I think it was before Ben Schwartz and Friends.
Okay. That's very kind. That's awesome of you that you did any research and watched anything before us. Very nice.
This wasn't because you were coming on.
Oh.
I saw Thomas and Lauren Lapkus do their two, what do I say? Man show?
I don't know if they've ever done a two-person
They did.
show. Okay.
I was just saying 2-man show.
Okay.
And I never knew Thomas before. Similar to how I walked into Crimson Tide.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Keep going to Crimson Tide. We're in it. Keep going.
Okay. And
1995, 10 to 11.
So basically,
Quick fart noise. Keep going.
Basically, when Thomas comes on stage and does his first scene, it's like, wait a minute, was that Denzel? Because that's how good Denzel is. I was so blown away by what Thomas, because I did UCB.
In improv.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did improv. I liked improv. I loved improv.
Okay.
And I was doing stand-up. You have to pick one at some point, and I picked stand-up. Because
that's what happened with me. I did a stand-up and improv at the same time at the beginning and felt so much more connected with improv and sketch than stand-up that I went to improv and sketch.
I did too, but it was too difficult. I could get on stage 3 times a week at that moment doing stand-up.
Right.
And improv maybe once a month. That was the reason I chose stand-up.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How different do you think your career would have been, or you as a person would have been if you chose? I mean, that's such a silly question because you would spend so much time in this community as opposed to this community.
Right.
So it would be wildly different.
I could say outside of entertainment, though connected, but what the self-discovery I've been able to make and the understanding myself through stand-up, not that I couldn't have through improv, but I just know
I understand what you're saying.
Has really helped
because
me
you're
as a person.
voicing exactly what you're going through in your head. You're speaking as yourself, not as characters, and you're telling what's on your mind and what you're going through, how personalized your experience has been. So I totally understand that you could tell your story better
and
with this.
The going home after doing very, very poorly, and I have to sit in it myself instead of laughing about it with peers.
Well, that's one of the things that made me push away from stand-up. I remember I've done it probably 10 times at the beginning. First of all, I have no stage presence at the beginning. You know, you're learning how to do anything. I hadn't done any comedy ever. And I was doing improv classes and stand-up.
At Upright Citizens Brigade?
No, I did stand-up at Boston Comedy Club.
The improv classes.
Improv is Upright Citizens Brigade Theater. Although I did take classes at Second City, New York and UCB. And the Second City, New York classes just felt like, it just didn't feel right. And then UCB classes felt like, this is what I like. And I got connected immediately and I became an intern so I can get free classes.
What made you like UCB more than Second City?
The way that they taught was way better. In Second City, we spent the first 30 minutes stretching. And I was like, what are we doing? And
literally stretching or like zips?
Literally stretching. And then maybe zip zaps out. But in the other one, it was, let's get on stage, let's do scenes.
Yeah.
Let's,
it's the funnest.
You get to be like a kid. The idea that I get to tour and play like real venues with my friends and just make people laugh. We're being goofy and we're making people laugh. It's heaven. It's 100% heaven. So that stuff to me is really exciting.
There aren't that many improv or stand-up. There's not that many opportunities, relatively speaking, as an improviser. You're kind of at the top of having a touring improv show.
That's interesting. I think can I say one thing? That's very kind of you. This is one thing that I always thought. People who had never seen improv before, or when you talk to, God, I have a lot of questions to ask you as a stand-up about what your thoughts are on improv, but because you like improv, it's different. But okay, so for stand-up.
I pardon the interruption.
Go.
is a great show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
But you're talking about the way that they bat, like the shit
When
talking.
I came up at the beginning, stand-ups didn't really have respect for improv.
And the other way around.
No, that's not true.
I used to go to improv shows because I was in both all the time. And improvisers loved pretending they were stand-ups and making
scenes pretending you were stand-up is
just
so
bombing.
fun.
Yeah, it's great.
So fun.
But
You're
that's
right. That
coming
is fun.
from making fun of the craft and the people.
Oh yeah, but that's also we'll make fun of everything. But like that's
Sure.
But I fucking loved stand-ups. But this is what I was gonna say. Let's say you're in the middle of let's say you're not in LA, New York, or Chicago, and there's no big improv scene there, right?
I grew up from Cleveland with a little improv scene.
Perfect. Okay, so there, and then you see someone goes and sees a class show. That is their only experience in seeing improv, and most class shows are terrible. I've been in a ton of class shows that are terrible. So they leave being like, "Well, improv is terrible," and they have no other place to see it
Because they've never seen
there are no
the
specials.
best doing it. Right, exactly.
There are no specials. There are no improv groups that come
Agreed.
to big venues there and perform. So they have nothing to compare it to at all. Meanwhile, if I go see stand-up in Cleveland and it bombs, I'm going to go then watch Eddie Murphy Raw. I'm going to watch Delirious. I'm going to watch Carlin. I'm going to watch Pryor. I'm going to watch people coming up. I can watch Aziz who's coming up. I can watch, Bill Burr. It's like there's so many specials
You're
that
saying
run.
coming up because you're referencing like when you were a kid.
Yeah. Or like when, come up in the comedy scene. But even as a kid, if I watched stand-up, there were so many examples of awesome stand-up. I could listen to Let's Get Small, which blew my mind. You know what I mean?
The
So
only
it's like-
examples of what improv was sketch.
That's
and
correct,
sketch
which is
shows.
not improv.
Not at all.
So a lot of people coming up just like we're like, oh, we don't like doing shows at Largo. Thomas and I, we had a group called Middleditch and Schwartz when we would perform at Largo.
That was a Netflix show.
That's correct. That's a Netflix show. We brought that to Largo, and we were the first ever improvisers outside of Improvised Shakespeare Company to do like a show in that 270-person space, right? And then more improvisers come there performing, which makes me, and I'm assuming Thomas, incredibly happy. And Thomas always wanted to tour, and I was like, yeah, I don't really, and I still don't really have a huge desire to tour. But it's like, so we started touring, and now we're bringing improv to bigger venues that have never seen it before and introducing it. And we're very lucky. Both of us were on TV at the time. So people are probably coming in the door sometimes to be like, let's see what these funny guys are going to do. And then they start to like improv. And then the specials were a huge deal for us because I did a special for Showtime called House of Lies Live where Kristen was in it. And it was, but it
Josh
wasn't
Lawson
like,
is a great improviser.
Josh
too.
Lawson is the fucking funniest guy in the world.
So talented.
He is and he's an incredible writer and he's gorgeous. He is so talented.
Put up a picture of Kano in the new Mortal Kombat.
That's great. But then show a beautiful picture of him right next door so you can see what they look like. So
I've actually referenced him in a podcast once. I forgot the name of the show, but some improv show in Australia.
Thank God you're here.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Man.
And he's so fucking funny.
But continue.
Yeah, so that improv was a huge... So I did a special for Showtime, and then I think TJ and Dave had a documentary out, and then Upright Citizens Brigade.
Who's Dave?
TJ and Dave is a group called... TJ and Dave is a Chicago group. They're like two old school improvisers called TJ Jagodowski and Dave Pasquazi. They're like considered like, gods in the world of improv, especially two-person improv. They're very slow and patient in their scenes, and they find incredible stuff. Thomas and I are more quicker and frenetic, two different styles, but they are geniuses.
Where do people see them?
They can see them in Chicago, and also
Is there
there's
stuff
this
online or
I think there's this documentary online. So there's very few, and they're very hard to find. So to get a special on Netflix, which by the way, when Thomas and I pitched everywhere, every single place said no because they said, "Well, tell us what if you pitch a stand-up special, I apologize. Do you have one on?" So you pitch a stand-up special,
what is
you
it?
have to kind of tell them what you're going to talk about. So we would say, "Oh, we don't know. The whole idea is we don't know." They go, "Yeah, but so is it possible to maybe
It sounds like when Seinfeld is talking about them pitching their show.
Yeah, about nothing or whatever. And then they're like, well, what if you had one of the places goes, what if there's a celebrity in the crowd? And then you pull them up. I go, the whole show it's us. We're going to make nothing, whatever. And so everybody passed. And then we did a show in LA and invited Netflix one more time. They saw it. And then
Where was the show?
At the Wiltern, maybe?
And when you're doing that show, obviously you're doing a show, you always want them to go well. Is there something that
we knew this is what happened. We sold out Carnegie Hall. So we played Carnegie Hall and we sold it out. Then all of a sudden people were like, oh, maybe some people watch us. So then our agent at the time says like, we're going to set up a show in LA. So these people can see you at a bigger venue and we'll try to convince them that way. So we knew going into it, this is like a
And
big...
what does that feel like to you? Because improv more than stand up, in my opinion, is it's if you're not present, you go get fucked.
The scarier, like I don't really get nervous doing improv anymore, but the times that I did were Carnegie Hall because I'm from New York, and it's like that's the place. Like I've never even been there as a kid. It's like insane. So that was incredible. And then taping the special because you work so hard for 20 years, separately. Thomas and I worked together probably for a decade, which is amazing. But we'd been doing improv separately for 20 fucking years and never recorded one ever. Now we have, the way that we set up the deal was we're going to shoot 4 specials and then we're going to take those 3 of the 4 specials and give you 3 specials. So we knew we could.
Meaning you could flub one.
But within the show, we can't edit out big chunks of the show. It's one show.
Right.
So like unlike stand-up, if a joke goes terrible, you can cut out 5 minutes.
So many things are referenced.
Exactly. So it's like, it was so nerve-wracking because it's like, all right, this is going to be us forever. The only time people ever see us and the majority of the world will ever see us forever are these. And so I felt nervous there. And our first show was not amazing. It's the one that didn't make it. So then it was even more fucking pressure of now every show has to be at least good. So doing the special is big because now we have that thing of like, if you saw a shitty class show, you could show people this special or you could show, and then all of a sudden people are doing improv in places. So now I tour with Ben Schwartz and friends. And when we go there, it's like amazing. We're introducing improv to people, or maybe they saw the special, or maybe they just, it's very special to me that we got to.
Do you have dates of doing it again? Or are you done touring for right now?
I'm doing 4 more dates. I'm doing DC in July, Boston in July, and then I'm doing Chicago in September and Toronto in September. And then there's a chance I might go to Europe, but I don't know yet. I don't have the huge desire to tour.
Same.
That's why I'll go to I love Chicago. I'm gonna go to Chicago.
Yeah, if there's a place you want to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more like for that. And then also I get to invite my friends. I pay them. We get to have a nice time. So it's all that stuff is very appetizing, but the older I get, the more I'm like, I want to stay home and, do my stuff here.
I did my first Rick Glassman and Friends show.
Oh, how was that? So is it
stand-up?
Stand-up? Okay.
But at the end and in between.
Did you host or were you the closer?
We didn't have any host. We just brought the next
Tell me your
person
lineup. This must be so exciting. And where'd you do it?
Brea Improv. It was my friend Nick Hoff, he opened it up. And then it was Brent Morin, Eric Griffin, Andrew Santino, Adam Ray, and me.
Oh, awesome.
And
Eric Griffin, I think, auditioned for something once that I was able to audition with him. And I was like, this guy's fucking awesome. He seemed like such a lovely dude, too.
He is. He's actually, I'm officiating his wedding in 2 days.
Oh, that's great.
He is one of the funniest stand-up comics I've ever working. But people know who he is, and he does well. But people know him as a podcast personality, relatively speaking, more so.
Oh, is that true?
He's on a few podcasts that do really well.
Okay.
And he and I speak of this often. People don't know him as a stand-up. And even our peers, because when we're coming up, we're watching other people, we're waiting, we're hanging out. But now we kind of do our sets, you leave, they're longer sets, you don't travel with people.
Well, that's the other thing. May I ask you a question? I hate to interrupt you.
Yes.
Stand-up, doesn't it feel isolating afterwards when you're done? There's the idea that you had where you're like, when I fail, I'm by myself and I feel that failure. And then for me, that loneliness is so tough. Like when I bombed at the beginning at stand-up, I'm like, fuck me, shit. You were alone up there when you're bombing. And then afterwards, I felt like, of course, in improv, I drive myself crazy in improv. When I have a bad show when I was younger, for days, I'd be like, oh, I should have done this. What am I doing? Why can't I? But in stand-up, it felt so lonely. It felt like, and no other stand-up that was trying to come up at that time, nobody was there to help you or say anything, or it just felt so isolating to me at the beginning before I was a part of a community at all.
Yeah, it still is. More so, and I'm only now starting to do this more, traveling. Mm-hmm. When you do it and then...
Well, touring is
but even a good set. I've said this on my podcast before, but I did a weekend. It was one of my first weekends, that was my weekends. And I'm in Naples, Florida, I think, somewhere in Florida. And Friday night just had such a great show. And I felt like, man, I could do this.
Yeah.
Saturday, 2 shows. First show didn't go well. I wouldn't say it was the worst show I've ever done by a long shot.
Right.
It just didn't go well. But the owner still came up to me and said, hey, we would like to have the feature headline and have you feature. If you're okay with that, yeah.
And feature means that you're basically
I do
opening?
20 minutes instead of 45 to an hour.
And who was the feature in Florida?
It was a girl who had been doing it for less than 4 years.
Okay. And how long have you been doing stand-up?
At that point, probably 9.
And did he see you crush the night before?
Who knows? Probably. But I didn't do well. And I remember feeling bad. This is hard. I'm so glad I only have to do 20 minutes. You know, like I remember all that. And I went home and I journal every now and then. And I wrote down, and this observation has changed so much for me for the better, that having a great set and having a bad set have the same thing in common. Whatever that feeling is, it lasts for a day, a couple days.
When I was younger, it lasted for way longer. Now that I'm older, it doesn't last at all.
But what about then another, like you have a bad show and then you do another show in 4 days. And then doesn't that, then.
Well, now I only perform once a month. But now the stakes aren't as high. Before, when I was doing shows, it was like trying to get on a team at UCB or trying to get anybody to look at me. Now it's like, this is my show. I don't want to disappoint people who are coming because they're paying money now.
That's where I'm at. I'm worried about that.
I just want to make them happy because at UCB you pay $5. So if we have a bad show, you lost $5. But now it's like Largo's $35 plus a service
Plus people
fee.
travel for it too.
Yes, and if I'm doing tour shows, like I publicized a bigger LA show here at the Wilshire Bell, and someone came in from a different country. Different countries are coming in. I was like, I want people to. I think it's inherent in both of us, probably, because what we do. I want to make people laugh. I want to make people happy. Like that. It brings me so much joy when we get out there and I fucking hear an entire audience laugh and they're having a good time. Then they leave and you can see how happy they are, and they're happier at the end from the beginning. So,
how important is it to make people laugh when you were a kid, and why?
I don't know if it was important. I'm sure I loved it.
What made you develop it? What made you lean into it?
I think probably it's the way I got friends. Probably, right?
Did you not have friends before you made them laugh?
Well, it's different. I grew up in the North Bronx, and then I had all those friends because I was friends with them from kindergarten. Then I moved to Westchester, which is the suburbs of New York.
And what grade is that?
11 years old, so that would be
around
5th or 6th grade.
That's around when I saw Crimson Tide.
So basically Crimson Tide years. And then I was totally by myself. I didn't know anybody. And it was very scary and lonely. And that's when I found.
Were you funny before though? Did you already have a little skill?
Yeah, I think I was always a goof and a ham.
So that was where your comedy came from, was just being broad and big, energy.
I don't know. I can't imagine a world where I was subtle in my comedy when I was 10 years old. I feel like it took me a while, even doing sketch and improv, to learn how to be subtle and to relax into things, and knowing that the laughs are going to come, the comedy's going to come.
I want to. This is where sometimes I'm rude by interrupting and wanting to leave. I want to ask you some questions.
You'll never be rude. I apologize for
Ben Schwartz. Funny stuff, man.
What's on your mind?
And now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. Are you not feeling well up here? Are you a little anxious? Are you a little sad? Do you not know what's going on? Do you not know who to speak with? Why not see a therapist? BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and online chat sessions. You could be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. I know a lot of friends that want to see therapists, but they don't know who to see or how to find them. BetterHelp curates these therapists to be brought to you. Try them out. We need to talk to people. We need to unload, if not just to vent, but also to have another perspective, a professional one, to help identify some patterns of behavior, some patterns of thoughts. I love therapy. I love getting information. I love telling people what it is that I'm thinking and them kind of collaborating with me to figure out, oh, this is why I'm feeling this way. If you've been thinking about therapy and don't know where to begin, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is also much more affordable than in-person therapy. Our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/TYSO. That's BetterHelp.com/TYSO. For 10% off. What's that, Ben?
Improv is terrible.
Oh, yeah. Let's go back to the episode. So there's, you could say the thank yous all you want to me. I'm saying this because I mean it, but also so the audience has context in case they haven't seen whatever.
I'm going to say thank you now. So because I get awkward when people say nice things about me. I do. So I'm going to say thank you very much now.
You're welcome.
And that's going to blanket everything you're about to say. So even if you say negative things.
Blanket statement?
Blanket statement. You just lost it. Do you care? You lost your thing.
It's a running gag.
Oh,
whenever blanket's mentioned.
Oh, you get rid of it.
Do we have a U? Whoa. That's,
So if I open this right now, you'd be mad.
Want to do that?
Right. I don't want to.
It's not.
Do you think I will?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm really not. I'm so sorry.
But is it kind of also? You ever watch the stand-up on HGC?
No.
Okay. First of all, this isn't a blanketed statement. We're both very hyperactive people kind of send you a George. So would you make up whatever that kind of stuff?
Okay.
This is a blanketed statement. Okay. You see what I'm doing here?
Yeah.
And that's a big blanketed statement because Betty gets paid.
I would get ribs or steak at Fridays.
Yeah.
This isn't a blanketed statement, but my thoughts are, my first TV show is exciting. And, it's a blanketed statement to say that only when you're on a TV show it's exciting.
Whoa, it's weird that you just
You
said
just said
blanketed
blanket when that
statement
blanket
and the
fell.
blanket just fell
What
off your
the
chair.
fuck?
Stuff you can do other than be an actor. I mean,
And this is a blanketed statement to go on a date because, you rather make that a blanketed statement. All right, well,
Right.
but I thought it was really
Blanket.
I'm enjoying it.
You already got them off.
at this
and
house,
that's not a
you're-
blanketed
you know
statement.
what?
You could always do,
Yeah, it was just kind of a weird energy.
and this is a blanketed statement, pardon me. It's very much a blanketed statement. But Americans will,
Cut to the blanket farting when it hits the floor.
so I won't say to you, I'll say to them.
No, I can take it.
Um,
I'll just look to the left a little bit.
you are one of the greatest to ever do improv.
I am not good at this.
Okay.
I can't. I'm not good. For real, I'm not good at this.
I watch.
It might make me emotional too, because
I'm-
very rarely do you get to. I never think about stuff that I've done, I keep going.
My eyes watered when I said it because this happens. People who watch this and not like when I give a sincere thing, sometimes when you said that, I'm already watering a little.
You could make me cry if you say that.
But I'm saying this almost objectively more than just that. But you're so good at it to where I'm watching you do it and rewinding, trying to understand your facial expressions to know what your intention is behind something, but your facial expression is the character, so it's blocked, and I can't. And I'm like, I would love, it would be amazing for you guys to do a Mystery Science Theater, watching the thing and talking about
director's
your intention.
commentary.
The thoughts that you have are so, and here's where I don't really know you that well, but I feel like you're a kind person.
Okay.
They're so accepting of what the other person is saying. Now that's what improv is. You have to listen, but you take in so well, like, what do you even have thoughts? And I mean that in a way, not that like you're an idiot.
When I'm
I mean
on stage?
I mean that in a way of like, I mean that like it doesn't seem like you're planning to do anything.
Never.
You're just there.
Yes.
But
one of my
ahead.
friends had a great line. Sam Reich, who's a brilliant guy from College Humor. He has a great TikTok, by the way. You can actually bring up his TikTok. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Christopher Wa.
Falling down the stairs accent challenge number what?
Jesus Christ. He had a great line where he saw a show once. We've been friends for a long time, but I don't think he'd seen me live in a long time. And he says he was very complimentary of the show. I forget if it was a Middleditch and Schwartz or Ben Schwartz and Friends. And he says, he goes, "That's meditation for you." And I go, "What do you mean?" He goes, "I meditate a lot. And meditation is you're not thinking of there's nothing in you're not thinking of anything else but what's happening in the moment." And he goes, "When you're doing improv, you're meditating. There's literally nothing about anything else that's coming in you except for what's right in front of you." And I think you're right. So when I'm improvising, this is what happens really. And by the way, I could show you, or I could break down any scene that I've done, and I don't remember anything that I've done unless they're like big moments. But when I'm doing stuff, I'm logging stuff in the back of my mind. So let's say we're doing an improv scene together. Well, basically, we'll use this and pretend it's an improv scene.
Let's do a scene.
You bring up the fart thing at the beginning. So now in the back of my mind, I'm going to look for any place that we can do a scene whenever you want. I can put that fart thing in the back of my mind. Now I have that blanket in the back of my mind. So I know when to call stuff back, because in improv, I'm usually the one trying to make I want to make a fucking show out of this thing. I want to almost feel like a 3-act movie when you watch, whatever.
A movie.
Yeah, when you watch a movie, that's a good thing to say. A movie, like a 3-act thing, like a movie. But so the only thing I'm thinking about is in the back of my head, near the end, those things in the back of my head come to the front, and I'm trying to figure out, I'll look at a clock. This is a secret, I guess, but I asked them to put a clock of what time it is. When I come out on stage, I look at the time. So now I know, okay.
When there's 8 minutes left, we got to juggle the balls.
Right. So it's like I know my shows are about an hour. I get on stage, I talk to the crowd. So for Ben Schwartz and Friends, literally we just did one a couple days ago. I get on stage, I talk to the audience for 5 minutes, make sure everybody's good, make sure everybody knows what's
How
going
you
on.
doing? COVID's been tough.
Yeah, I'd never say COVID's been tough because I don't
COVID's
want
been
people
pretty
thinking about. I talk about how good COVID's been going, how we're thriving as a nation in COVID.
Think about all the positive things that it's brought us families closer together.
Well, the
We've
positive
learned
COVID test in order to make everybody feel closer together.
Right.
So then, and then I bring out everybody one by one, the performers, and then we talk to an audience member for about 3-5 minutes to get all the information we need for the show.
Hi, I'm an audience member.
Okay, so it changes. So I think this past show, I let people who are doing my show for the first time ask the question.
Well, you do. Do. Let me.
So I'll say what Connor at what Middleditch and Schwartz does is what are you looking forward to in the future? Uh-huh. What Connor asked this week was Connor did one, and then Lauren Lapkus did one. I forget what it was, but it's basically an open-ended question.
Is the audience mic'd up?
No.
Oh, everyone could hear him though?
Well, this is when I'm on tour, I will repeat oftentimes what they say. But you'll also learn that people when they're talking to you and you're on stage and they're in an audience of 3,000 people, they're really whatevering. But also there's a really fun thing where people will laugh around them when they say something, and then I'll repeat it for the guys and girls up top, or all genders up top. What do you say? There must be a better, everyone up top.
I just say guys.
Guys. Okay, you'll probably get yelled at some time. But
sometimes I say girls.
Well, you'll probably get yelled at too for that. So up top, I'll kind of repeat it. And there's another. Well, it could be anybody. You know what I mean? It could be. Then those people get to have a little laugh too about it. But so if a question would literally be, if you want to see in my head how I get to a thing, let's say we did it the way Middleditch and Schwartz did it. What is something you're looking forward to coming up?
I'm excited to see my family. I go home in the summers in Cleveland, and I love just spending time there. It's the only time it feels like a vacation for me.
And what are you going home for?
Just to sit at home. I get high with my dad every night. We watch movies. So
already, if this is a show, in the back of my head, I know I'm going to start a scene with getting high with my dad, or getting high with my grandma, or getting high with someone you wouldn't expect. So UCB teaches you to find the unusual thing and keep it in the background. You've taken classes, you know this. Keep going. But I'm just if you want to know what the process is, now in the back of my head, I have that.
Well, I want to know. You know what? We'll keep talking about this, but I'll get more specific in a second.
Okay. And by the way, I don't think I've ever broken down. Very rarely do I get to break down improv or talk about improv, and I love to do it. So I'm happy you're bringing it up. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but it's very kind of you.
This podcast, although incidentally I'm actually surprised we haven't been doing it much, relatively speaking, is a lot of that clocking things and then finding moments to call them back. And especially in editing, I love to have stuff, and I'm just always live editing, and I've been trying to find this balance between not. It doesn't matter too long of a story, but not distracting us for what I want to do in post.
Great. So you're editing in your head
the entire time.
Yeah.
And it usually works out great. It sometimes is fine, and then sometimes I'm now derailing by snapping to TikToks and putting up people's Instagram.
But that becomes an unusual thing that we've been calling that out
to somebody that plays with me with it.
Oh, right. I bet it would be distracting for someone who doesn't understand.
That's what's very hard about having a different guest every week, especially because a lot of guests I have are people that don't know me. I've never met them.
Right.
And we don't share that thing.
Who's the most nervous you've been guest-wise? You're allowed to say that. Who's the most nervous when you were there beforehand? You found yourself more, maybe your anxiety came up or something like that.
I believe there was somebody, I don't know.
Barack Obama? Or you were pretty cool when he came on?
It was in his space, so I had been there for 2 days already. I was in DC. I was nervous when I landed, but during the interview itself, it just felt like what I felt like the past 2 days. So it was just kind of
became comfortable in the uncomfortable.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember.
There has to be someone.
I know. I'm not saying I don't get nervous by any means. I just can't think of. I mean, I would want to say the two that would make me the most nervous because those are the two people that like me, but I don't remember being that nervous would be David Wayne and Blake Griffin. I know you're friends with Blake.
By the way, Blake Griffin, in terms of comedy, so Blake performed 4 different improv shows with me. Maybe more. And one of them was just me, Blake, and one other person for an hour and 15 minutes doing improv. He is the funniest athlete, probably funniest professional NBA athlete. I was so impressed at how good he was. I remember one of the first shows he ever did. It was me, Zach Woods, him, and Zach Woods came up. Zach Woods is one of the best. I find to be one of the best improvisers in the world.
He's fantastic.
Truly one of the best. He came up to me and he's like, "It's unfair. It's unfair that he could look as beautiful as he looked, play basketball at the top level, and do what we do. This is for us. This is for the nerds." You know what I mean? It was such a funny line, and we were saying it with Blake there. But I was so impressed with how funny he is. And when he was living, when he was here for a while, hanging out with him, he's just one of the funniest people. One of the other people like that was Greg Olson. Greg Olson, who's a NFL player.
Don't know him, but
unbelievably funny. And then Ryan Khalil, who's Blake's business partner, has like a mind like an incredible writer and producer. And I wrote a animated show with him, and I could not believe how fucking smart. I mean, I'm not saying that he's not smart, but like how creative he was. He was so brilliant in coming up with ideas and characters that I loved it. But Blake is truly one of the funniest people that's not an improviser. When he got on stage, he fucking crushed. And not because he's an athlete.
I'm hosting a show at Just for Laughs. I did a show that he was hosting.
Oh, I bet he crushed.
No. Yeah, he was.
I've never seen him do stand up, but improv, he's no joke, incredible.
He was funny. He was funny. I was surprised at how funny he was because he's Blake Griffin, but he didn't shine like he does interpersonally, and I can imagine improvising. He was like, "Oh, Blake's really funny," and then I later realized, "Oh, he's like us funny. He's not like other people funny. He's like a comedian funny." Yeah, he is a comedian.
I find. Sorry. So you were probably nervous about those.
But I wasn't. I don't know, man. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I want to be able to answer that because I'm like, who was I? But I guess I'm kind of just always nervous.
Are you? You don't seem nervous now. You didn't seem nervous when we said hello outside.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay. I'll tell you when I'm not nervous is when, and I connect very much to the meditative state you're talking about. I call it getting the we'll put up the box with the question mark. The Mario
Big
star.
Fart come out? No, sorry. You got to hit another one. That was just a fart. There you go. There's your Mario thing. That's a star. Now you're invincible. Copyright infringement. If you can think of someone else. Okay. There's going to be copyright infringement. If there's another song, just change one note.
I changed the frequency within it because that was perfect.
Okay.
Perfect key.
I heard that you can do perfect pitch. E minor. Go. Stop. A minor.
Do re mi fa sol la do si do di
It's great. That was great.
Thanks, man.
Of course.
What were we talking about?
Doesn't matter. I got everything I needed.
All right. Well, thanks for coming over, man.
It was a pleasure.
That Mario star when you're just completely just there, that thing.
Where you feel invincible.
Where I feel invincible.
Interesting.
That happens on stage.
Oh.
And I'm never nervous.
On stage you're never nervous?
When I have the star.
Oh, okay. Okay, so my assumption is the star for you is when you're like killing, and now you have the audience and you can kind of play with them.
Oftentimes, I'm doing well because of the star and not the other way around. What's that?
Oh, you're entering with the star.
When I have the star, then this happens.
Now, how do you obtain the star?
My friend, it's what I've been chasing for the 14 years I've been doing this, and the only reason I still do stand up is because that. And I'm happy to say that I get that. I used to get that every now and then, maybe, a few times a year. And now I probably get it, 20, 30% of my shows. Not that
you get it less now.
No. I'm saying I used to get it a few times. Like I would go months without having
every
a
now
star.
and then is lower than two.
A few times a year versus now it's a fair amount. Now, when I don't have the star, it's still an okay show. It's still, maybe it's even a really good show.
Right.
But that star is the only time it's worth it to me.
There's a
pocket.
I get what you're saying. When things are going well, there's literally nothing better in the world.
But going well to you doesn't mean to them. There's a lot of times where it's like I have this star and they're not on board yet, and it doesn't matter.
But you are in complete control.
I'm in complete control, and that's that uncomfort that I was talking about. It doesn't matter. Feel what you're feeling because you're supposed to, and you're bringing that. And that's not for me to tell you how you're feeling yet. But I guarantee you, whatever you're all feeling that is different, we're gonna get someplace together because I have the star.
Got it.
And it's just not only is it validating and makes me feel like I'm good at what I do when I have that, it's just meditative.
There's when I tour, like one of the things that helps me is when I do Largo, I'm never nervous because I've done it. I've done it a billion times. It's like my home court. That's literally home court for me now. It used to be UCB, now it's Largo. I get in there, I go through the same thing, whatever. No matter who I'm having performing me, I feel very comfortable and happy there. When I'm touring and I did my sound check and we have a big old theater, I get out on stage. Everybody's so kind and usually is very kind with applause. But then I really feel comfortable when I hear my first big laugh. Mm-hmm. Then I'm like, all right, this is going to be fun. But when I get that first big laugh, I'm like, oh, it just relaxes me even more. And by the way, anything. I remember I presented at the video game awards, and I was going to do a silly bit, you know what I mean? That's like, oh, well, this could go well or this could go pretty shitty. And I got there and I played with the audience, and the audience played back. And I was like, all right, we got
What
this.
if they don't play back? Do you continue down the path?
I would either call it out.
Right.
Because it's the unusual thing.
And you call it out because that's a tool in your box that knows at least now the joke isn't this, it's the acknowledgement.
Because in improv, you don't really ignore anything. If you get a bad suggestion or if something weird happens, I remember we did a show once where one of our biggest, we got a very big applause once when someone I was literally mid-talking. I bring it up because someone had brought it up to me recently. I was mid-talking to, I think it was a Middleditch and Schwartz show, so Thomas, and I'm talking to him like this, and in the audience, someone knocked over a Heineken bottle or something, and you heard glass go, and literally the second it happened, I'm looking at Thomas, it went, and I just went like that and pretended to put back I by mistake kicked it with my foot and put it back, and that got a big applause. So it's always being aware of what's happening always, kind of. So when if the crowd isn't whatevering, I can also then be like, all right, I got to figure out a way to get them on my side, or this is working or this isn't working, or maybe I push a little bit harder or something like that. But it's different when you're presenting, or I was at the Video Game Awards presenting. It's very different than if I'm doing an improv show. I'll find a way to get them back. I'll feel out why and then try to find them.
I think what I'm going to say is wrong, but it's where my skill set is at the moment.
Fart.
Excuse me. Stand-up doesn't allow me to do that the same that improv does.
You're talking about the bottle moment?
Yeah. Whatever that means.
That's correct.
Unless I am on stage doing stand-up but improvising, which I also, a lot of people do.
Right.
But
Kate Berlant does that, right? Who I think is brilliant.
I haven't seen her stand-up in a very long time, but she's we've had her on the pod.
Oh, nice.
She's so funny.
She's so fucking funny.
But I used to do a different set every time.
Oh,
because,
wow.
And it wasn't improvising always. It was, I would always be writing new stuff. And improvising some, trying to find it.
Why is that? And tell me, this is my ignorance. Isn't the idea to
yes,
build
that's
30
where I'm
minutes?
wrong.
Okay.
The reason I would do that is not because I had all these ideas I needed to get out, but I felt like I was lying. I felt like...
Oh, because you come from an improv background.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm ever in a scene that feels like it's going close to anything I've ever done, I take a fucking sharp turn somewhere else and never allow myself to do something the same way.
But that's why I'm saying with stand-up, that's
I know
not what it is.
It's the practice of repetition, isn't it?
Even when I'm telling a story with you, by me bringing up this story of when I was in Naples, Florida, and I did bad the second day, I had to say, I said this on another podcast already.
Right.
So it doesn't look like, is he just... And I'm projecting that. It doesn't matter. We're entertaining. But I felt like a liar, and I've learned that that's the craft and that's what you have to do. But I still, when I do it, there is only... I'm not in that space because there's still part of me that's like, you just got to do it. You just got to repeat it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't let me be there. Whereas when I'm doing something where I'm completely here, either if I've told it before, but I want to tell it again, it's easier. But when you just have to do the thing, it's so hard to then allow yourself to be present.
So how are you with when you're doing scene work in your show or any show, when you have to do the scene over and over again? Do you find it boring or you try to change it every time you do it?
I have comedian friends that I've talked to about this stuff, and they say it's just like acting, and it's not, because acting, it's different because by design, I'm not lying. We're not performing to an audience that's watching us right now. We're creating a piece.
Although you did do a multicam didn't you do a multicam?
Yeah. I guess my answer to that is my experience was I had 3 lines a show. And we would do 2 takes.
What was the show called?
Undateable.
And
then
I can't believe I remember that. See, I follow. I'm making sure you're doing all right.
All right, you're right. Never mind. Forget what I said earlier.
I understand what you're saying.
And it was also live. We did it live for almost half of them.
Got it.
So
I understand what you're saying, though.
I miss improv so much.
Why don't you do it?
So this podcast has offered me now for the first time I've ever had an audience, which is like so cool.
You do stand up.
Yeah, but I never had an audience.
What do you mean?
I now
repeat people that are coming back.
I went to do Rick Glassman and Friends, and 400, almost 500 people bought tickets to it, just like that.
That's amazing.
I do shows now. I just started doing shows again in January.
And you think it's due to the podcast?
100% because of the podcast.
Oh, that's so cool, man.
Last night I had multiple people wearing merchandise. Some guy, Eric.
What's your merch say? We'll do it at the end. We'll pop, pop a picture of it now, and you'll show it to me later.
Merch.
Hello, goblins and TYSO fans. Please buy merch for my son. The t-shirts are soft and beautiful, and the new hoodie is very warm and comfortable. Please buy merch from us. We need the money.
Okay.
Take your shoes off, goblins, poops, theme songs.
Of course. Yeah.
But
I'm really proud of you, man. That's awesome.
It's surreal.
It's very cool.
Also, and Eric, you're probably watching this. Who I met. This is now last night. I don't know how to handle it yet. People like he came up and he drove up from San Diego. I just posted the show and he had to come and I'm like, dude, here, tell me your address. I'll send you merch for the gas money. Like I'm just like not comfortable with it yet.
Yeah.
But I have an audience and
that's awesome, man.
And I'm very excited about it. And I'm now have been thinking, I want to go back because the reason I stopped doing improv was it was too hard to get shows. I wasn't part of a house team.
Yeah.
So
it is. And by the way, when I was in New York, it was near impossible to get. You had to be on a weekend team, or you had to be on we had Hot Sauce, me, Gil, and Adam Pally. That's how we got time.
Oh, he's great too. He's great.
That
I don't know Gil.
Oh, Gil Ozeri is. I'm not even doing a bit. Gil Ozeri is the funniest person I've ever met in my life.
Do it as a bit.
Gil Ozeri is like the funniest. But if you ask Adam or I, we're in the group together, right? So sometimes people are like, when you're in a group together, everybody wants to be the funniest person. From day one, there was no doubt in either Adam or I's mind that Gil is the funniest person.
How does that translate to an entertainment career? Because you obviously have been able to do Ben Schwartz and Friends, which is great, but that doesn't happen usually. What usually happens is improvisers get recognized doing their specialty skill set, and then let's see if they could play these characters or characters that are written for them in movies or television or cartoons.
Oh, are you talking about translating from performing improv to getting roles?
Yeah.
The way that I got the first big role for me was a show called Parks and Recreation, and I got that because Mike Schur, I did short films also, so I was writing short films or acting in short films, and I did these things for ESPN where I played a guy that was interviewing athletes. I interviewed bunch of football players, Olympians, and stuff like that. This is when it was young.
Was it what's the character, Raphael?
Raphael's from Ninja Turtles. Show it one more time.
No, yeah. But what was your character in Parks? Was it
Jean-Ralphio.
Ralphio.
That was close. Jean-Ralphio.
See, I watch your stuff. I follow
Raphael,
you.
you got it, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he saw me in that, and he had a meeting with me after he saw that, and he's like, I love the way, I just think you're really funny, da-da-da. And I auditioned, or he had a meeting with me about being... I don't know if you've seen the show, but Leslie...
Parks and Rec?
Yeah, Parks and Rec.
Dude, come on.
So Leslie Knope had a boyfriend that was a cop that Louis C.K. played. And I was coming in to talk about maybe being that role. And they're like, you're too young for that. But Mike goes, but pretend this is like The Simpsons. There's going to be characters all over the place. If something fun comes up, we're going to think of you. And so when Jean-Ralphio came up, it was just one scene. And they said, hey, do you want to do this? It's one scene, but maybe it'll be a little bit longer, more later on. And but so I got that role because he saw me do the ESPN thing, and he's like, "Oh man, I loved this."
Yeah, that was a big moment for you, right? Getting that show.
Jean-Ralphio at the beginning, nobody was really watching Parks when it was on then. So it was at the beginning for me, it was awesome because I was doing a show with Amy Poehler, who was one of the creators of the theater that I came up in, and I loved. I was an intern for her for a year and a half at UCB. I did the garbage. I did the recycling. I changed the fucking bags that held the shitty water from the pipes. So it's I saw her every Sunday, and I fucking thought she was one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. And then Aubrey, who did UCB with me, was there, and Aziz, who did stand up at the same time. So it was it felt like playtime. I was like, oh, this is so fun. And then as the show keeps going, my character gets looser and looser, and a little bit more.
Your hair is getting bigger and bigger.
The hair gets bigger and bigger. And that was the first thing where people really were I'd done a couple things before that on TV or movies, but that was the first thing where people were like, oh, you're that guy.
Yeah, you, and back to what I was saying before, I'm telling them, not you. You shine and pop constantly. There's...
Oh, by the way, how good am I? I interrupted you when you were saying nice things to me, so you couldn't say anything else.
It
I
was
pushed
great.
us over there.
But the way you did that is exactly what I'm talking about. It's even your interruptions are just, the timing is fucking flawless. I talked on a podcast, which one was it? I think it was with Fahim Anwar recently, about we have the funniest friends in the world. You know, we're in this business, so our friends are literally some of the best at what they do, right? And
it's true. We have some of the funniest friends in the world.
Literally.
Yes. Not just like, hey, my friend is funny. It's like, no. This is like literally. This is one of the funniest people in the world.
That we're...
Professionally.
And so we're just always, when we're fortunate enough to be around people and we're able to, we're often just laughing at the highest level and being part of it. And just, it's the best. And back to like being nervous around people. Yes, I get nervous around people, but generally no more nervous around Conan than you. I mean, it's
amazing.
It's just, I'm a little nervous all the time. And
do you get anxiety? Do you feel it in your heart?
Yeah. Generally, it's the anxiety isn't during this. This is a distraction from it. Anxiety is sitting by myself.
Oh my God, there's a this might be too dark to talk about. Do we talk about dark things in here?
Yeah, you know what we'll do? Talk about it, but we'll put some upbeat music underneath it.
It's probably not the right place to do it.
We'll see in post.
Okay, so I find that sometimes the things that you're talking about, the anxiety, what you described, I relate to very much. Someone had passed away, right? That I was very. By the way, Gary Shandling passed away, who I was very close with and meant a lot to me. And obviously, when I heard the news, destroyed, really fucked me up. But I found, I keep myself really busy. I'm doing a couple things, but I find that it really hit me when I was in like the shower or when I was in a place where there was no other thing for me to do.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm doing in the shower is cleaning myself. You know what I mean? Yeah, and it's like, right. But it's like, I remember being, all of a sudden it just like overcame me and I was crying. I was like really crying. And I find that that's exactly what you're saying is what happens to me. It's like, I feel so much, so many things happen, so many good things, so many bad things. And we're so distracted by so many things. This phone all the time. Anytime you want to escape, you're in that phone or like.
I put it in the other room now.
Oh, it's so smart.
Like upstairs.
I think it's brilliant. And then like this and we're working all the time, we're writing all the time. And then when you really have no distractions is when the real life shit starts coming in and you get to really think about that. But I remember I was really shocked once when I was reacting to Gary's death in the shower a week after. Mm-hmm. And I was like, why now? And it's because there's no distractions.
Do you have a hard time going to bed?
I don't sleep very well, but I don't have a hard time going to bed. I have a hard time staying asleep.
Well, may I recommend IB Guard. When your heartburn's so bad that it keeps you up at night.
Wow.
No, it's not a real ad.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that.
Isn't IB Guard Isn't IB Guard like irritable bowel syndrome?
Yeah, I was joking about the placement, but this is a magic pill.
Do you have terrible IBS?
No, it's if you have heartburn or a stomach ache.
I have acid reflux. Would that help?
I got my dad off of, I forgot what they're called, but whatever his...
Nexium.
No, you wouldn't know it.
The heroin.
Bleep what he said, but yes.
Is your dad really on heroin?
Bleep that again. He was.
No.
But now he's on IB Guard.
Oh, God.
IB Guard for gas, indigestion, heartburn, or upset stomach. All you need to do is take a pill, wait 10 minutes, and even your burps are going to taste good.
Are you getting money?
No, they're not a sponsor.
I think you're going to be excited to find out that I actually know the person who runs IB Guard.
I reached out to their Instagram and asked for an email address because I want to invest in their business.
Give me 1 second. John, it's Ben. I'm on... Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Hey, sure. So I'm on Rick Glassman.
Tell him to take your shoes off podcast.
Rick Glassman, take your shoes off podcast.
I sent him a message, a DM.
Yeah. Yes.
He got the DM?
He sent you a DM, yes. Did it come off Jewish?
It was Jewish.
It was Jewish. Yeah? Would you be interested? No joke, I'm on the podcast right now. He just plugged IB Guard.
I literally have...
He's holding it right now.
Box.
Is he holding it from the sides? Yes, he's holding it from the sides and showing the logo. Mm-hmm. Yeah? He wants to know, is it possible Maybe you could throw a little cash his way, and every episode will be sponsored by IB Guard.
I would actually like to pay to invest in the business.
Okay, he wants to know if he can get stock options instead. He wants to invest in the business.
I want to not just with advertising though.
Not just with advertising.
I will pay.
He'll pay.
I want to give $50,000.
Stop, Rick.
What we're selling.
Okay. 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 All right. All right, buddy. Love you. Oh. So I left him a voicemail. Okay? And he'll get back when he hears the voicemail.
How do you know him?
Huh?
How do you know him?
Huge fan of IB Guard. I know him. I just left him a nice voicemail, like a big longie. When he gets it, he'll get back to us and he'll be like, so if he's in or out, I'll get back to you.
What made you, while leaving the voicemail, there were so many moments that made you laugh?
Sorry?
There were so many moments that made you laugh.
I was thinking about like funny things and
we were just talking about the death of Gary Shandling.
I know, it's terrible, right? But a really funny guy. Has a lot of funny bits. Larry Sanders Show's great. It's Gary Shandling.
I rewatch it every year.
I know you told me already.
First base.
Nice.
But man, you're just so funny. You're just so talented. Where all these funny people.
Are you wearing sandals, socks?
Socks.
Slippers. Yeah. I never did slippers.
Let me say the thing.
Sorry. Yeah, I'll go. I'm sorry. You're very nice.
This isn't even about you. So
great.
Don't even say thank you. But it's connected to you. I don't gush over people because I don't know, like you're just around it. It is what it is. There's some people that are super funny. I told this anecdote, which I'm not going to tell again, but it was basically Sam Richardson.
Oh my God.
Who I've
He's
known for
fucking
years.
Funny.
I did this. I was the sixth lead on Undateable. I did this series called The Sixth Lead. It was 5 episodes of me.
You did a show called The Sixth Lead?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was something I did. Bill Lawrence, who did my show, gave me 2 days and money to make this thing that was just going to be for online, but then they put it on Hulu and NBC.com, and it was like it was really cool and did really well. And everyone played themselves, and it was being the sixth lead and wanting to get more lines from the writers.
Sure.
And I got to use the lot and they shut down streets. It was just very, very cool.
Heaven.
Sam played a security guard who didn't know who I am, and my name wasn't on the registry. And the one of the other cast members just came in. He's a huge fan of hers. He's getting my name wrong.
Sure.
He's so funny.
He is.
He's on set. He's wearing the security guard thing. We're setting something up. He's not on yet. And I'm watching him be a cop next to the craft services person and just like asking about the donuts and just knowing that I'm watching him. And just, it's impossible for me to break, but I'm fine at not breaking.
He's so funny.
I laugh so much during his stuff. Years later, I've known him for a while. I rewatch some of those bloopers of him making me laugh. And then I happen to see him at Taran Killam, put up the thumbnail, house. And I'm a little stoned and I'm talking to him and I go, Sam, because I just rewatched it, you're so funny. And he goes, thanks, man. Because that's what you say.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm in gush mode.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, you don't fucking get it, man. He goes, no, I appreciate it. No.
Here I go.
I know, funny. It wasn't that, but you know what I mean? It was that. And I'm at a place now where I used to miss when people were whatever, I would never know. I've made making faces and like they're checking their watch.
Oh, you know when you push too hard.
I now could see it's happening, but I still don't have the instincts of, oh shit, never mind.
Right.
Maybe I do now.
Right. I'm sure you do.
But
now.
this was during like a transition where for the first time, one of the first times I saw somebody doing this. All right. And by the way, this isn't a guy that I've never met. I've known him for years. Okay. And I'm still pushing so hard. No, dude, you're the funniest guy in the world. And he was just like, thanks, man. And I remember afterwards being like, ooh, I gushed. I realized too late.
Yeah, but he'll remember that. He's so nice.
It's fine. It's fine.
Oh my God. Yeah. Did you see, I did a show with him where he's unbelievable in it.
I've only seen clips of it.
Okay.
Afterparty.
Yeah,
I haven't
really
seen it yet.
good.
I very much want to.
He's really good.
There's a lot of shows out there.
Oh my God. Tell me about it.
Well, including, let me pull up the newest issue of Emmy Magazine.
Oh, wow. That seems like a page is bookmarked.
As We See It. That's As We See It.
Oh, and there you are on the right.
Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me just give you the full spread on the next page. There
You
we
look
go.
gorgeous in
Thank
that
you so
suit.
much.
Gorgeous in that suit.
Thank you so much.
Where's that suit from?
My stylist, put his Instagram handle, I couldn't keep it. Most stuff I could keep, or if not, then I could at least buy it at a discount.
Yeah.
This was a suit that doesn't exist.
It's too pretty.
I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't exist? It exists.
It's a sample.
Give it to me.
And?
For that reason, I'm out.
Okay.
Shark Tank.
I understood.
So, but gushing, Sam Richardson, I brought you up because I also had brought you up because I saw a clip.
Brought me up to Sam.
No. When I was talking about on Fahim.
Oh, Fahim. Okay, we're back to
and I was
Fahim.
just talking about Sam and then you because of there's a couple of clips from that show that I saw and just how like these just like you guys are fucking. It's like if I were to just move here and I'm younger and I'm doing my thing.
When you just moved here?
If I were to just move here now,
okay,
I'm 21. I'm
You're
really
2 times Crimson Tide age.
I've seen it a couple. Yes, well, almost depending, and. I'm like, who do I want to be around to like learn comedy? Or more yes, but more specifically, where do I want to go and do comedy the way that these people are? It's you guys.
Oh, wow.
And he's more sketch, but he's also improv.
He does a little improv. I've been begging him to do my improv show, and he's not there yet, but he wants to be there.
Let me show you.
I want him so badly.
I could text him
to do my show. No, I text him.
I'll call him.
No, I think you're all right. But, oh, shit. I mean, I'm friends with him. Very close. Okay.
Hey, Sam.
You didn't dial anything or press anything.
He was calling. That's why I said.
He was calling you.
Hold on one sec. He was calling, so I said I could text him as a joke.
Okay, go. This is awesome. Go. Sammy!
I'm with Ben Schwartz.
He heard.
He said I heard, as he said he heard.
Yeah, it's cute.
Jewish, yeah.
Ask him if it's a show. What?
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
What happened? What?
Really?
This is very fucked up.
What happened?
No, this is very fucked up.
Should I stop?
Probably.
Does he have?
Yeah, literally just.
I'll leave it in.
I guess you're telling a truthful story. Still fucked up though.
What was fucked
Although,
up?
was your dad really doing heroin?
Until he got into IB guard. Put the friendly music under it. Oh my God. Well, now what, dude?
Well, we can talk about anything you want.
You're just the best, man. So
you're very kind. And by the way, so that feeling, and not to push you away from you saying a kind thing again, but that's the feeling I got when I went to UCB. I saw Amy Poehler, I saw Rob Riggle, I saw like Paul Scheer, I saw Rob Hubel, I saw Ian Roberts.
Rob Hubel's another one. Oof.
Matt Besser, Matt Walsh. I saw Jack McBrayer, who was so fucking funny. And I'm watching all these people, and I remember as an intern, I was like, I'm seeing the funniest people in the world underneath a fucking grocery store. Nobody knows about this fucking place. You know what I mean? It's like the punk rock version of comedy. I want to be around this. I want to be around this.
It's my closest friends in stand-up are the ones that I get to improvise with. Like doing the Rick Glassman and Friends thing. I was going to say at the very end, we all go on stage and do stuff together. It's not formulated. It's not inspired by Harold or anything.
How did it feel when you did Rick Glassman, Friend? You said you've never had a show where people are coming for you. So that was your first time. What was the feeling of you coming on stage? Try to process for real.
I mean, it was literal coming on stage.
Nice.
It was the feeling. The biggest one was when before the show started. I got there early to do a sound check because I have a music cue because I'm a prop comic now, and I was going around to see the marquee for the first time to get a picture
that's
of.
great.
And it's an hour and a half before the show starts. How many people were already there? Nervous to ask to take pictures with me, and saying I won't touch you. Like they know already, so I don't have to be like.
So
yes.
You don't like hugs and stuff?
I'm getting better. Okay. I'll hug somebody I know.
Okay.
If they want a hug or if there's an intimacy to it.
Okay.
But like you meet somebody, hey man, how's it going? And like touching my hands. And it's like,
how do you play basketball then?
I'll do it. It's rules that you make up. I feel like maybe you could subscribe to this.
Sure.
But like, I feel like touching people is similar to my dairy rule. I'll say I don't eat dairy because I don't eat cheese. I don't like creams. But there are some things. I'll eat ice cream.
Of course.
It's okay if there's a little bit of butter on something.
Of course.
But it's just simpler to say no dairy.
Right,
people just get that rule.
No touching.
But like if I'm playing basketball or you're touching somebody, it's fine. But when you're meeting people after or before shows and everyone wants to put their arm around you.
Well, it's different now because COVID shit too. It's too the risk
even.
isn't worth the reward.
I'm not even as worried about COVID in particular, just that I don't need it.
You don't believe in COVID?
I believe that I don't believe it's our savior. I believe it existed.
Very smart.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
I believe it's part of history. I don't know if I believe that it died for our sins.
Okay.
And also, when people put an arm around, then I don't look good with an arm. I don't look good like this.
It's so funny. I actually know exactly what you're talking about. My neck will like be like, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Let me put these 8 fingers in my pockets.
God.
Do a Zac Efron forward
You do 2
lean.
thumbs out?
I do 2 thumbs out.
No, you do
That's
not.
actually the name of my special.
I love that.
Yeah.
You cowboy it up when they take a picture?
Sometimes. But the original intention...
Who taught you that? How did that start?
It wasn't because I thought it looked best. It's because nobody touches you when you got your hands in your pockets. It's similar to wearing earbuds so people don't talk to you. I've also now, when I'm taking pictures of people like after a show and there's a lot going on and I can't be like this the whole time, I will always have a bottle of water and I'll do a bit, which is where I learned how to do bits. I later realized in my life, I would do a lot of bits not because I wanted to be funny, but because I needed to hide something about myself. So let me make a joke about it.
So you would have a bottle of water so you wouldn't have to touch people.
I would hold the water and I always, whatever the brand is, I'm advertising the water. And because what do you say? I always say to people, and remember, if you tag me, tag Evian. Now you remember what I say. If you tag me,
tag Evian.
That's Evian Smart Water. Or Evian.
He's been saying it my entire life.
Will you tag me and Evian?
No.
Or whatever the fucking stupid line is.
Sure.
Because it's just,
Sure.
you know?
Sure.
What were we talking about? Oh, it was seeing the people coming to see me and knowing me and already accepting, oh, this guy is this thing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
That's amazing.
It's very exciting.
And I want to do improv stuff.
Go do improv stuff.
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't done improv in a long time, you're going to start again. You could try to get a couple of friends together and do some rehearsals and see how it feels.
I used to have a team with during the UCB days before taking classes. I had it was Hassan Minhaj. Hassan. Yeah. Fahim Anwar. Aristotle Theris. Do you know Aristotle?
Fucking
do you know him?
names. No, but these are incredible names.
Ari just got on SNL. Melissa Villasenor, SNL. And Esther Bravitsky and Sandy Danto. But like
Great
everyone has done their
Jesus
own
Christ.
things. You look back at like the back in the the golden age of like the days you miss, which is always as
I think it's the beginning. It's always the beginning of something. Hot Sauce, me and Hot Sauce, when nobody was coming to our shows and we were trying so hard to get anybody to give a fuck about us. That's Gil and Adam and me.
Oh, that's sure. I was picturing because I played with Skip to My Lou. I thought you were doing.
No, it was a different
references.
N1 mixtape player.
Yeah,
but it was the best and also the most exciting. And
yeah.
Then we got into the Montreal Comedy Festival and like
For
holy
improv?
shit, we did sketch.
Right.
So we were an improv and sketch team, but nobody was putting us on Harold teams. So we did a show called Cage Match in New York, which was one group comes in, improvises, another group comes in, improvises, the audience votes, and whoever gets the most votes come back to the next week.
Like battle round in The Voice. Put The Voice.
Okay. And so we won so many weeks in a row that it would like gave us so much confidence. Then we started getting people coming to see us, and then we got put on a Harold team after that.
So when we did these classes, we had coaches. You would have
I was one of those coaches.
So here's my request to you.
Yeah.
If it happens.
I'm going to preemptively say no, but keep going.
You haven't heard.
Well, yeah, but I'm going to preemptively say no because it's one of two things.
I think you might like this.
Okay. You want me to coach?
May I? It's going to take a lot of your time.
If you know I'm going to say no and it's going to take a lot of my time, do you want to skip to the end?
It's not the most convenient.
Skip to my Lou, another N1 mixtape.
I want to, if I do a show at some point.
Okay. And remember what I said.
Yeah. But it's like a show. It's like,
Of course. And again, remember what I said.
Yeah. And I have people, that are going to be doing improv with me. Oh my God,
yeah. That sounds good.
Would you...
Right. And now?
Coach us.
Remember what I said.
On stage.
No. On stage?
I'm saying, would you
make
ever...
that part of the show.
I'm saying
you did wrong?
like if we do this thing, one day, maybe we announce it, maybe we don't, it's up to you. Special guest, coach. Schwartz.
So don't even get me on there to improvise. Just get me on there to make sure that
You'll do, unless there's unless you want to give us a line reading during a scene and say what we could have, should have done.
course.
But yeah, it would be basically you are coming in, and instead of being the
By the way,
guest improviser,
great idea.
you're the guest coach.
Great idea.
We'll wait until we have it established.
Right. I'm not going to do it, but it's a great idea.
It doesn't pay.
I'm listening.
Okay. And I'm thinking about doing it in
Santa Clarita?
No, I was going to do it somewhere. It's just outside of Dallas, and I'm not remembering the city name.
Dulles. Dulles.
Dulles.
I love it. Okay. I'm thinking about it. You're getting me closer to a yes.
I'll pitch it to you later. We'll make a deck.
Okay. We'll make a
Deck.
deck.
Yeah.
All right.
What would you recommend that I do if I wanted to start? Because I've thought about this, and it's like, what am I going to do? I'm not
Do you
going to
really
go take
want to
classes
improvise?
again.
Get on stage somewhere.
I
It's the
miss
same
it
thing with
so
your stand-up.
much.
Go on stage somewhere. Or
I do every now and then. I've done like
rent out a room and do a couple things with people that you really want to do it with and see if it feels like something that would be fun.
right. I should just do it as a show, just like
You don't have to put it up first. We used to fucking rent out rooms and play with friends. If you haven't done improv in a decade and none of these people have done improv with you in a decade,
yeah.
you should maybe
They're all
rent out.
funny people that don't do this,
Great.
and it's a muscle that needs to be.
I think you should
constantly
literally
worked.
go to somebody's house or whatever, do it for a little bit, figure out, get all the things out. The things that this is different because you're so established, but
Thank you so much.
of course,
I think
sorry.
you're so fucking good at what you do, dude.
I was talking to the guitar. The thing that I would say is one of the things I tell people who are coming up are first of all, get out there, get on stage and try. Take a risk, fail, because you're going to fail, learn from that failure, and then get back out there again.
I don't think what you just said to me was condescending, but it did feel like you were giving me a pamphlet.
Right. Well, I say when younger people ask, coming into the industry, what can they do? I say, try the thing. You want to be a writer? Write. You want to act? Try to find a way to act.
Have you seen Sister Act 2?
Yeah. Back in the Habit?
Yes.
Yeah. Lauryn Hill crushes in it.
But you know what?
By the way, I saw it recently.
Really?
Yes.
I haven't in a while, but how could I forget? It's actually what Sister Mary Clarence says to her, which is right after saying, don't mock the ice capades, they were very cool. She says, if you wake up and you want to be a writer and all you can think about is writing, then you should be a writer, girl. And if you wake up, all you think about is singing, then you should be a singer. And the mom's
She
like,
didn't say girl at the end of the second one?
I don't think she did. And she said the mom's like, singing doesn't put food on the table.
And again, just do your normal
Sounds racist.
voice. Yeah.
Singing doesn't put food on the table. I actually have a clip of Blake Griffin telling me that voice isn't racist.
Oh, play the clip because I can't imagine he's being truthful.
As a comedian, like looking for people who could still play ball. Right. And then they actually saw me and LeBron came up to me. Yeah. It's like, hey man, you could actually hoop. I would remind him, hey man, we played against each other in high school.
Yeah.
And then he would be like, for real? Was that racist the way I said for real?
No, not at all.
All right, how could I do it racist?
How could you do it racist?
Yeah.
All right, ready? I think you say word.
Right. But you could do that. At least you could do half of that. Yeah.
Say.
Yeah. Right. Like
right.
calling me Jack or something.
Yeah,
would be racist.
Okay.
I didn't see it, so I can't tell you, but I have to imagine Blake was just being nice. I'll watch it at a different time.
I'll clip it.
Okay.
But yeah, so if all you could think about is singing, then you should be a singer, girl.
Right.
Here's something else.
By the way, I do think that's big. I think there's some people that want to get into our industry we've been talking for 90 minutes?
Today.
Holy shit. People are
How are you feeling? We can wrap it up soon.
No. People are, yes, of course, as quick as we can. But people get
Theme
into
music.
our industry. And it's
Thanks for coming over, man.
so good. No, people get into want to get into our industry. And I think that sometimes they just want to be famous. Like they want to be famous. And sometimes I'll tell people like, you've got to love it so much because you're not going to make money. You're barely going to sleep. You're going to work so hard that if you don't love this, if you don't love doing improv, you don't love writing, you don't love acting, you are going to be miserable.
Well, more realistically, you're not going to do it. You're going to stop.
Right, unless they just want to be famous. But you're right. Yeah, I
But
guess
that's
that's
not
how you weed.
motivation
That's how
enough.
you weed it out. I remember people said like back in the day at UCB, they're like, yeah, the cream of the crop they'll get on teams. I'm like, it's impossible to get on a team.
Yeah.
They're like, listen, if you're good enough, you'll somehow in whatever span of time, you'll find yourself on a team somewhere. It
I think
happens.
that's very optimistic, and there's some truth to that. But also,
I'm sure
you
there's
got to get
absolutely.
very lucky.
I know so many people that are so fucking talented that just never broke after UCB, and they're so funny. They're so talented. Maybe they didn't work really hard or
It's
whatever
just,
it
you
was.
have to get lucky. You have to get.
I think it's luck, but I also think it's you got to work your ass off. I worked so hard. I mean, I still work really hard now, but at the beginning, I was doing anything that would let me write, act, or perform. Anything. I would just do because I just loved it so much that I wanted to be a part of it. So I think you do have to I think there's luck, but I think the harder you work, Chris Jackson once said, the harder you work, the luckier you get. Also, my dad used to say that. So it's like it's that.
Well, the lucky you get, I think I could break that down is because you have to get to a point where you're good enough to when you get the opportunity, you shine. And the opportunity is the luck.
And more opportunities come, though, when
more you shine.
Correct. And the more work you put in.
I've been saying it for weeks.
Weeks?
For a couple of weeks.
Thank you so much for having me on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
No, you got one more great one? Was there one you wanted to end it with? How do you not have to pee? Because you didn't really drink.
I just pee.
And how are you not freezing? You make this place fucking freezing.
Are you too cold?
I'm great.
I could give you some merch.
And why does it say it's 5:55?
I don't put batteries in the clock to remind myself that being right twice a day is okay. You don't have to.
Tribe Called Quest line.
Say it again.
There's a Tribe Called Quest line that goes, every dog has his day, but after that it's my year. But that's not what I'm trying to tell you. By the way, I wrote a character. I guess I shouldn't. It hasn't come out yet. But I wrote a character that has a specific of taking batteries out of clocks.
I can't wait to see it. I think you're one of the greats. But as somebody who is usually right, a lot of people feel like, oh, Rick can never be wrong. So on my wall, I have something that's wrong most of the time.
Do you think you're never wrong?
No, I'm wrong.
What's
I'm
11
wrong.
times 17?
Well, 10 times 17 is 170, so 181.
That's really well done.
Thanks. You should see the other guy.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
But give me advice for somebody who's established.
Given everybody.
No, you gave them advice. The fucking no disrespect.
What advice do you need? You're doing the best you've ever done, you said. Do you have your own TV show? People are coming to see a show of yours?
2 TV shows.
2 TV shows? Your legs are looking fantastic.
If I want to get into improv, back into improv.
Yeah.
But I already know love it or list it or whatever your pamphlet said. Okay. I'm already like doing the thing. But like, what's the thing, man?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. How do I don't think I could do improv. I think it's gone this way.
By the way, you put so many hours into stand-up and you haven't put as many hours into improv now, correct?
But I know it's a different muscle.
So I would, my suggestion is a real one. I'm not doing a bit.
Oh.
Get your friends together that you want to do a show with.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, I'm thinking about the next Rick and Friends show.
Right.
To be like an improv show.
I'll have to sell it as Rick and Friends bombing.
Or Rick and Friends try improv.
Right.
Because then,
That's
by the way,
kinder.
But the problem is this. Then I guarantee that show is going to be the bit is you're trying, just like how you said, like
I don't want it to be. I don't want it to be.
Well, then you should be like, we're doing an improv show. It's not that like fuck. It's you got to commit. But you should get your friends around. You should rehearse once or twice and see how it feels to do scenes with them.
Find who's
and you'll
still,
know
who has
immediately
the chemistry.
if you want to do it in front of people.
Yeah.
Doesn't cost any money to get your friends around.
It's just something that let's say I like it and I want to continue doing it.
If
good.
you like something, you should be doing it anytime you can.
I can't do that though as well as what I'm doing. I don't have time.
Oh, that's right.
I just miss it. That's why I like when people have me.
So you want to be a guest on someone's improv show?
I do that sometimes.
That's what you want to do.
A guest monologist, and then you come out
but
and do
that's
some
not improv.
scenes.
Oh yeah,
but then you do
great.
scenes.
Great.
Anyway, whatever. I just talking to you is reminding me
You
of
like
and what I've seen you do, and it's just that to me way more than stand up. Stand up I could control, and stand up's beautiful. And I want to do stand up, and this may sound uninspired, but I love stand up when I love it.
Yeah.
The reason I'm doing it is because I want to film a special when I have the Mario start, almost like a trophy. I want the special. I don't want to travel. I don't love it.
You want to do a stand-up special?
Yes.
Of course.
However.
And how fun. Then you could point to this. This
but
is
improv
me.
I'd want to do every night.
Yeah, it's fun. I can't tell you how much fun we have. I do it every month to keep me sharp because when I'm acting, I get to improvise a lot. But also, it's a chance to hang out with my friends that I haven't seen in a long time. And I get to fucking have fun and be goofy. And then I buy everybody pizza or burgers in between. I get to pay my fucking friends to do improv. I came up my entire career never getting paid $1 for doing improv, right? And then now that we're more established and we get paid for these shows now, it's like, it's such a fun fucking thing.
Yeah.
I have so much fun. We're goofing around. The audience is having a good time. I feel very lucky that once a month, I do 2 shows in one night. We play around and have fun.
Tell me your name one more time.
My name is Ben Schwartz. Who did you think you were talking to?
I forget sometimes. Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
That's Ben Schwartz from House of Lies.
That's so long ago. That show, you say the Afterparty maybe. The Afterparty on Apple TV Plus.
Ben Schwartz on Apple TV Plus.
The Afterparty.
And
say the Afterparty so they can hear it.
The Afterparty.
Thank you. I'm in it.
And is there anything else? I guess your Instagram will put up. We'll go.
Rejected Jokes for all social media stuff, and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2. If you yeah,
Back in the Habit.
Watch that. Back in the Habit. Yeah, and if you go on rejectedjokes.com, you can see the tour dates I have coming up. So maybe I'm coming to your city.
Yeah, well, we already saw that in July it starts, and we put up in yellow your 4 cities. That's ending in Canada.
Great. You go to rejectedjokes.com, all the ticket links are there.
Yeah, but it'll already be here.
They're almost sold out for a bunch of them. So
you better hurry up.
Jump. And when does this come out?
I think October 10th.
Oh, the shows will all be done by then.
We'll put up new ones.
Okay, but I don't know if I'm going to be touring then.
Hey, you guys, you should have.
If you're just so the audience doesn't get confused, make up the names of the cities so they're not real cities. So like very magical, all token type cities or Lord of the Ring type cities.
You're saying this sincerely, so people don't actually mistake them.
If October we're going to put up new dates, just put up fake names.
How about we just blur the names?
Oh, that's smart.
Thanks. But also, this will come out end of June, early July.
If that is the case, then all 4 will be available.
Now, this isn't the most relevant, but before we go, because I didn't say it, it's worth noting because I like to tell people how do they know, what are the blah, 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 that we were both on our way back from New York, flying to Los Angeles.
Oh yeah, tell people how you got me for this.
How I snagged
we were in New York.
We were in New York
or New Orleans.
New York.
Okay, so we're going from New York to LA.
New York to LA.
You called me at the time when it was like one of the busiest.
That was you.
It just happened to be I was filming a movie in New Orleans every day, and it was night shoots. Every day was a night shoot because it's a vampire movie. It's a Dracula movie.
Yes, and that's right. The Nicolas Cage one.
Yeah, Nick Cage, Nick Holt, Awkwafina, and I. And so it's like
movie.
It's going to hopefully be great. Oh yeah, you did read the script.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, but I was doing press for 2 TV shows and a movie at the same time. So
What do you mean?
every weekend I had off, I had to travel and do it. And then during the day, sometimes I had to do press during the day and then the night shoot. So when I saw you, it was lovely. We both were very kind. I might have hugged you. I apologize. I didn't know if you don't like that. Or maybe you passed by me when I was sitting down.
I passed by you. We're wearing masks.
We were wearing masks.
Or we're flying, so we're both, our arms exhausted.
Yes.
And
New York to LA.
I saw your hair.
How'd you know it was me? It was
your hair. I saw your hair. So I had your number.
Did you see me before or just then?
I walk on. You're right here.
Yeah.
I walk by a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw the hair, and I go, "Is that Ben Schwartz?"
Great.
And if there was no mask, I would have looked.
Right.
But by nature of what the world is, COVID. Sorry, I thought I'd sneeze again. COVID.
Yeah.
I didn't want to like touch you or come over and get too close. So I texted you because I had your number.
You did.
And I said, "Are you Ben Schwartz?" And
okay. And then I looked behind.
And you go.
And you waved. And we had a beautiful little this. And then we texted like friends.
Little jokes here and there.
And then I think you immediately asked.
I said, I use it as an opportunity because it's worth noting, and I don't remember if I told you this, there are people that get requested often. Because I improvise and play so much on this, people feel
Who
like...
are the top 3 requested people if you have
that haven't been on?
Correct.
Well, it's Theo Vaughn, because he's a big podcaster.
Theo Vaughn.
And Tim Dillon. They're both big podcasters.
These guys. They're podcasters.
Yeah, so in the podcast
Very
world,
funny, I'm assuming both of them.
Yes.
Got it.
But in the podcast world, they love podcasters.
Oh, great.
So those 2 are the biggest.
Do you ever listen to Dead Eyes?
No.
Oh, my God.
I don't listen to many podcasts.
Okay. Dead Eyes is a podcast by Connor Ratliff about how he got fired from Band of Brothers because it's an incredible podcast. But I just brought him on Ben Schwartz and Friends.
Well, we'll play it. I'll play it at the end of this.
The whole
during
thing,
the
30-hour-long episodes?
We'll clip the best of at the end of this.
Great podcast. But that's very interesting. So they want to hear you talk to other podcasters.
The podcast audience is a very specific kind of audience. I'm telling you this both from my observations and talking to other big podcast people, where... especially in the stand-up world where they listen to you every week.
Yeah, it's very personal. You're in their ear. Someone had a great line to me once where it's like, it's not just listening. You're inside someone's ears, walking by yourself sometimes, and so you're such a part of an intimate experience for them.
I intentionally, because a lot of my listeners are YouTube people, because I do a visual thing, I intentionally don't have anybody else here.
Rejected jokes on YouTube. There you go.
Well, not only will we plug it in the description, I'll edit it so they could just click it.
Wow, I wonder what my biggest YouTube video would be. Because I did them so long ago. I bet they're...
Should I look and see the most views?
No, I just thinking about how I started was by putting stuff up on YouTube. I used to put my rejected jokes. That's how I started. Rejectjokes.com is all my rejected jokes when I freelance for Letterman's Monologue and Weekend Update.
But how is that YouTube?
So what I would do is I found out that Letterman, you own your jokes back after 3 months. So after they were back to me, I would perform this is how I started off. This is literally 2004. I didn't know the origins
of Rejected Jokes.
Yeah. So Rejected Jokes is...
Small world.
Yeah. I was an intern, and I was a page for Letterman, helping the audience get in. I was an intern at UCB. And then I finally, after being a page, they allowed me to freelance jokes. And then all of a sudden I was getting some on. And then after I was getting some on, I'd be like, you know what? How can I get the 90 people who come to see my shows at New York, UCB, I can get them, but how do I get anybody in LA to pay attention to me? I want to be on television. I want to whatever. And so I said, I got to do something on the internet. So I'll go, what makes me unique in this particular scenario? I don't know many people that are freelancing for Letterman or Weekend Update. So I'm going to take the jokes that got rejected, and I rented out UCB late at night, and I would perform them in front of an audience of 0. So nobody's there. Right. The whole joke is I'm saying these rejected jokes and they're bombing again. You know what I mean? And then
by nobody, do you mean this literally?
Literally 0 people in the audience. It's just me and the cameraman, who was either Jamie or Bill Buckendorf at the time. And then to get to do that, I go, okay, now I'm doing these. Now I'm going to try to get anybody from television that I know, which is almost nobody. Or I was too nervous to ask.
Look at you now.
Rob Corddry was kind and did it. Seth Green did it after I wrote for Robot Chicken for 5 episodes, so Seth Green did it. And then who else? Rob Riggle did it. Walsh did it. And they would say like a joke at the end. Nick Kroll did it. So then to get people to come to that, I made a short film. This is right when short films were like getting on the internet. So YouTube was like, College Humor was barely a thing yet, or wasn't even existing.
Cafe 101 a thing yet?
No, I don't think so.
Because I know that's where Lonely Island came from.
Well, Metacafe, or I forget what it was, but there was one website that I posted it somewhere. Someone from Ireland, and on the bottom, it said rejectedjokes.com. That was the thing that you saw the whole time. And I
watermarked.
Watermark.
Brilliant.
Correct. Thank you. And by the way, at this time at the beginning, that's like that is like whatever.
I've heard people say that they think that Ben Schwartz came up with the digital watermark.
A lot of people are talking about it. I made this short film, my first ever short film. It's on YouTube. It's called Cheating. That's the first thing I ever wrote and did. By the way, I also did a series called The Bronx World Travelers, where I'm like the generals. I'm the
we went from plugging,
sorry,
plugging.
You just made me think
your
about
Apple Plus thing, and you're talking about the first thing.
Sorry. So
in 2005, you have to understand this was before watermarks. I made watermarks.
This is the story. The story is that I put this short film up, Cheating. And I was like, this is the way. People are going to see this short film. They're going to see the watermark. They're going to come to my website. They're going to learn about me. They're going to watch these short films. And someone from Ireland took it, edited out the watermark. So they cut the whole frame from the bottom. They posted it, and it got 80 million views. And this is at the beginning of fucking this thing where you get money per view. Mm-hmm. The guy made thousands of dollars off of my thing. Nobody ended up coming to my website, but people had seen it. So many people had seen it that I'd be like, I was like, yeah, I wrote that. That's mine.
And you're in it.
Yes. It's me and Sarah Burns and Greg Tukulescu, all people from UCB at the time. Bill Buckendorf directed it. Great director. Anyway, that's how I started. So you can see those that's when I was just thinking, I was like, what would be there? It's those would be there.
The guy in Ireland who took it.
Who is it?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me.
Oh, no, sorry. I don't know his name.
I thought you thought he was here or something.
That was unbelievable. We're in a moment. Anyway, the Afterparty on Apple TV Plus. Tiffany Haddish, Sam Richardson, Dave Franco, Ike Barinholtz, Zoe Chow, Alana Glazer, John Early. Who's
you accepting an Emmy
funny.
with the music going.
Oh, God. Be great.
The reason I like having this wide here, not just because it's nice to be able to cut to wide, and having nobody else here intentionally, no monitors and stuff, is... to help with the monitors is because I like people to feel like not that they're watching us, but that they're in the living room with us.
That's exactly right.
You okay? For no. All right. I guess that's it.
Anything you want to plug? Is there another RG and Friends coming up?
I end every episode with what we call the wrap up, where you and I rap about everything that happened during the episode.
Great. I'm gonna let you take the lead.
Sure.
Okay, so you're gonna plug this in. Do you make the beat?
No, I have some that are made.
Do I need to put this in to hear the beat?
Yes. And generally what I do now is I just YouTube
Blah, blah, blah.
search.
This is what I've been sounding like?
Yes.
God, your voice sounds so much better than mine.
I don't think your voice sounds bad. I do think my voice sounds really good.
God damn it. And I'm a pro. I like voiceover. My whole life I've been doing voiceover.
Yeah, well.
And this is what I've been fucking like. I sound like this?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't do it.
Freestyle beat. And we'll
Give
put
me a
up
beat.
who
Give me
it
a beat.
is.
Give me a beat. Give me
I
a
like
beat.
doing
Give me a
this
beat.
because you don't know what it's going to be, you know?
I can't imagine people freestyle with you every time at the end of this.
Every end of everything?
I'm going to let you do the whole thing.
No, you got to do it with me.
I'll let you do the whole thing.
Yo.
And talk about what just happened?
No, this is help YouTube by answering a question. That is not the beat.
Wow. Why did you get so into the last one? You were already up and
I
yang.
thought it was a beat. I was just yeah. Oops.
Okay, so it's we never get to rap, I guess.
No, I'm not. This is not intentional.
It sounds like it's intentional.
I appreciate that, but it's not. Yeah.
Don't laugh.
It's getting. Oh, you don't know what's about to happen.
Yeah, but rappers don't usually laugh before they jump on the track. 3, 2, 1, and
you call me Irish lad, so sad it's invincible. Save it for the back pod, it's incredible. Now you just loving where you potting, it's incestible. But how do you stop it when the beat falls irrevocable? Now I just bounce with the water on the table, with you killing with your socks when you doing what you able. Ha! Suggestions from the crowd, we laughing if we nervous, if it's surface, if we popping, if we copping. It's nothing, pop, click, clap, Sesame Street, how you doing? Foof, foof, meet me outside, Condi brewing. No coffee but tea, but sometimes it's we for she, but no he in the back, we calling, we yelling, but not for me, never. Daughter died when she was 12.
Oh,
she
no.
came back, Jesus Christ is alive. Truck tack. Impecular, insatiable, incredible, and nervous when you poppin', it's inevitable. Made you look. I was talking with no words cause it's in my mind. Like when I was showering, it was sublime when my friend died. I was sad as fuck, I couldn't even believe it. But then my hair got bigger on Parks and Rec, and now I fucking have a show, man. Insatiable. Now the title card's coming up.
Okay.
And they can't hear us anymore.
Okay.
Because it's just like, and it's going to show the recommended videos.
Sure.
So we can't hear anything.
When do I jump on?
Whenever you're ready. They can't even hear it
Just
now.
point and I'll do it. When the beat comes in. And then you tell me when. Point and I'll pop it on. Go. And this is the title cards playing? 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 10, 8, 1, 6.
Now I'm just going to get a Polaroid of you. Because I take Polaroids of my guests.
Polaroids are your guests?
I take Polaroids, but I can take Polaroids of my guests. So you could just, and I won't even be able to beat, but you could just go and.
You want me to rap?
Yeah.
It's a good beat to rap to, by the way. What do you do with the Polaroids?
Introducing Gatorade Fit.
Yo.
Fitness starts from
give
the
it a beat.
inside.
Yo. I was 16. She was 24. I asked her for her number. She got
Get
down
healthy,
on the.
real hydration.
Oh, that was another commercial.
This has been fantastic.
Thanks,
I think
man.
you've done great. I think this has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
How much do you sell these for afterwards?
So I'm putting, it's pod.snaps. I haven't accumulated them all together, but I'm putting an Instagram together that's just the Polaroids of all my guests.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to put them out early so people could like see who's going to be on early.
Oh, do you ever let people take these from you or no?
No.
This is for you.
No, it's for me, but I take a digital.
Do you have a wall of all of these?
I have them in a book right now.
A book.
But I want to do something. Polaroid has this amazing app.
Oh, God.
You've heard?
No, it's just, it feels like another fucking ad, but keep going.
Where you could take the picture of the
Go.
You could take the picture of the Polaroid.
Right, and it makes it a Polaroid, digital Polaroid, something like that, and then you send it to your friends.
It was so fun, dude.
It's really fun.
So this app, what's great about it is you could take it from any angle.
Blabbity blue, scoop dee. Oh yeah.
All right, great. Nice to meet you, man.
Meet me.